People of the internet, welcome to another video. Thank you for stopping by. I am here to show you something that stopped me dead in my tracks as I was scrolling on LinkedIn. I've been meaning to make a video about this. Well, not necessarily this, but something similar. In a video I made last year, which is about my setup, I talked about a logging script I use to log my commands when I'm doing internal pen tests so that I have a history of everything I did, including timestamps and the actual command I ran. I talked about that. I didn't end up giving out the script because I'm still tweaking it, to be honest, and I just didn't follow up. But this stopped me dead in my tracks because it's something I do pretty often. It's about taking screenshots for pen test reports, and I am part of not necessarily the people soaked into ricing, but I like a nice looking terminal, right? I like a nice looking terminal. Most people do, and that's just very distracting for my pen test reports. So sometimes I have to blur out or put a black border on top of some of my screenshots to hide a few things that are distracting and not professional. And so bumping into this on LinkedIn, I was like, I haven't thought about this. It's a problem I do have, but I've never thought about fixing it. And so let me show you what I'm talking about. This is a post from Nathaniel. Nathaniel works at Skillshare, I think it is. I don't know him personally, but I see his posts all the time. He posts fantastic stuff, honestly. But he talked about making your prompt look this gorgeous. Like your shell, your terminal looking, just imagine this. It's got the date, the time, and then the command you ran and the output. That is just fantastic, if you ask me. Going over the post, he says, everyone has their opinion on terminal formats, but here is what I recommend for penetration testing. And this is just the prompt variable that you can set in your .zshrc file if you use Z-shell. I'm not too sure how you do this with bash, but I don't think anyone still uses bash for the most part. But I use ZSH as well as him and as well as a lot of people. But he says this creates a very clean prompt shown below with the date time on the one line and the prompt underneath it. That way you can take screenshots for a report that don't include extra details about your host environment, which is the problem I have. It shows the host name, the directory, and all the other fancy looking stuff that I might have in my terminal that I do not want in the terminal. I mean, in the screenshot. But basically, as you can see, this is my personal setup. I do use ZSH, and I use it with power level 10K, which is the theme for my ZSH. Power level 10K is just a theme, and then it owns the prompt variable, which is the one he was talking about here. Where'd it go? Here. Power level 10K sets that, since that is what I use for my theme. And prompt, generally, it defines what is displayed on the left side of your terminal when it is waiting for input, which is this garbage right here. Your directory, I don't know what this is called, this little thing, but it just basically makes your terminal look nice, and a lot of people do it. Some people have more stuff than I do, and it's overblown and it's distracting for pentest reports, but I want to see it when I'm working on personal stuff that doesn't go in a pentest report. So the question is, how do I set the prompt variable if ZSH and power level 10K basically own the prompt variable? If you type prompt and you're using power level 10K in your terminal, it looks insane. Like if you echo the variable and see what it holds, it looks ridiculous. So my question is, how do I fix this for my own use case? Ended up bumping into this thing called the z.dir, which in general in Z-shell, ZSH, z.dir is an environment variable that specifies the directory where the shell looks for its configuration files. By default, ZSH searches for startup files like zshrc, zshenv, and zprofile in your home directory. Setting z.dir allows you to move these files to a different location, such as a dedicated configuration folder, to keep your home directory clean. I basically, in my setup, use the home directory to house my zshrc file, which has most of my things. For example, it points to some of the other themes I use. It points to my environment variables and aliases. So I want to bypass this somehow, and this z.dir environment variable is going to allow us to do that. It's going to allow us to do that by specifying another ZSHRC file that will be hosted elsewhere that we can drop into using a sub terminal or a sub shell rather. And I'm going to show you how we do this basically by going to my terminal. And as you can see right now, this does not look good. I can echo shell the CSH. Let me cd into a documents directory. Documents, projects, I am Prevesk. Okay, as you can see, this doesn't look nice. And this is what we want to get rid of. So we have to create a directory that houses this new ZACE, I can't say it, Zish, let's call it Zish, this new Zish RC file. So to make the directory, we are going to put it in the config directory. The -p just creates the directory if it doesn't exist, which it does in our case. I want to open this directory and create a new Zish RC file, which I already have in here, and that's where we put our prompts. If we do that and save it, we then want to add an alias in our main Zish RC file to point to this z.dir directory housing Zish RC file. Basically, let me show you the command. We are making an alias Pentest shell that we can just run in our normal shell and terminal that sets the z.dir variable to home config to this new directory that we just made. And then we run a subshell and drop into it with the new Zish RC file that is specified in that subshell. We want to echo this into our regular. Are there any thingies I need to escape? Do I need to escape any of this? Let's see. We want to echo this into our regular Zish RC file. And once we do that, if we source the Zish RC file and we run, nope, that's not it. Pentest shell, we should be dropped into our new clean shell. So now we've been dropped into our clean looking terminal that has the date and time for our commands. It is 10 p.m. I should be heading out to sleep. But now you can take beautiful screenshots. Peace.